Yeah. I um I can't help but go back to some of the basics though, and fix the pricing for the retail bettors. It's such an obvious, simple, problem. I'm not saying the solution is simple, but if the product is grossly mispriced relative to the competition, which it is, uh, it's got to be fixed. Otherwise, you're going to see more contraction than just California being lost.
Tinky, I got to ask you, do you know, other than Pat, you and Pat, right? We'll have a subcommittee. Do you know 8 of the most knowledgeable people in betting that are not the biggest players that would understand, that could put together a model that works for the track, works for the gambler, and works for the whole system? Like, is there, like, do you I mean, Pat knows them. Maybe we have a subcommittee and you and Pat can lead the subcommittee. And because I care about the gamblers, but soon they're going to have nothing to bet on. I'm trying to save the sport first, So to me, that's very important. And I've always been for the horse player. That's me. I run for a $3 million race and I still throw 1,000 on fierceness. Like that fucking 1,000 on fierceness is going to make a difference. Like I'm still a horse player by heart, right? So who are those people that can help and meet with the tracks and say, hey, on this bet or that bet? And we've talked about fixed odds, and it doesn't work for every track. And it will be tested in certain areas. So we have spoken about that. I do think the tracks are more interested and have more at stake than the state of Kentucky. So I think that they'd be very open to growing the business. They're very open to marketing. We don't do any marketing. We don't do any planning. We don't do any of this. So if the powers to be who, and listen, I mean, Joe, your boss, Terry Finley, he's a steward.
We almost got out of here without jeopardizing my job. Almost.
Listen, if Terry Finley wants me not to bring his name up again, he's got to get rid of you and Jason Blewett. He gets rid of you and Jason Blewett, I'm fine. Okay? And by the way, I know Terry's smart because he hires people like you and Jason.
Thank you.
But
like Jason.
All right.
Yeah. But how do we, I mean, listen, he's got a livelihood. He's got a business. You guys have a model that makes money. To me, like, hey, can there be 2 models? One a little bit more affordable to the guy, not the micro shares from my racehorse, but maybe buying 1% shares and buying cheaper horses. There's a bunch of ways we can get new owners into the game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of my favorite parts of the job is bringing new people into the game. And I think, say what you will about my racehorse, they're bringing a lot of new people into the game too. Like that, everybody's got their task. I think if you are passionate about this game, it's incumbent upon you, no matter what position you are in, to help advocate for it and to bring new people into it. And it's not easy, but everybody's got that role and that obligation, I think.
Yeah, I mean, between Tinky, John, Joe, and me, we had a better conversation on horse racing and fixing horse racing than the leaders of the industry have. Do they come on your show? Hey, get Jim Gagliano and Everett Dobson with me. Get the Stuart and Tinky. Let's get Tinky on with us. Let's see if Drew Fleming and the leaders there will show up and let us ask the question. Mm-hmm. You guys all love moving the Breeders' Cup to September. We all love building the breed half price to grow the breeds in these other states. A $2 million non-Kentucky Breeders' Cup would excite the world. It's Philadelphia versus New Jersey versus New York. Right. You guys have a great New Jersey bird, not you in particular, but who's the Jersey bird that's so talented last year?
Bookham Dano.
Look at that. Isn't that a great story?
Yeah.
Doesn't Bookham Dano excite people in New Jersey?
Yeah, he's the best Jersey bred since me.
That's right.
That's not what I said. That's what people are telling me.
In defense of you, you're only good because you had a great sire and a
great sire and mare.
Yeah, that was bloodline.
And by the way, with the great sire and the great mare, you still didn't live up to expectations. but you still could have been better. Okay, but listen. After we fight this out, Tinky and I agree on 95%.
Yeah.
He uses the word radical. Tinky, I'm being, you can hate me, and maybe, and I don't think you do, by the way, just so you know. And I never, ever disliked you. I actually get entertained with this. if I'm not this way, it won't work. I'm sorry.
Right.
This is the only way it's going to work. The Jockey Club has to worry about Mike Repole. The Breeders' Club has to worry about Mike Repole. Tober and NTRA need to worry about Mike Repole. They've engaged with me, and now they know I make sense, but they don't want to change. I'm not going away. They're going to have to engage with me, or I'm going to engage with them in a way that they're not going to like.
Well,
Because I am doing this in the fucking best interest of people that are passionate like you at your age and love the sport and want that back. And my 9-year-old daughter that wants to go to the track with me because that's our thing.
Yep.
And
Thank
the
you.
millennials and Gen X that are getting ruled out by these other people that are not changing the sport. They're either going to embrace the change or they're going to get steamrolled. And I actually prefer the steamroll way, but it's better for them just to embrace it because I'm not going away.
Yep.
Tinky, any
I don't
final
care
thoughts?
What I need to do, I am not going away.
I
And if
believe
they
it.
think that's a threat, it is.
Yep. Tony, any final thoughts?
Well, I agree that there was some good common ground here. I appreciate after a little bit of a tussle early on that Mike and I both settled down and got some good thoughts, on the air. I am in basic agreement with Mike that radical change is necessary and that it's a pipe dream to think that the current structures that are in place are going to affect any kind of radical change. So, that we agree on, and it's fundamentally important. I don't know that Mike has a chance to accomplish what he wants to, but I respect his passion. And I also think that that disrupting, as he likes to do, is largely a valuable thing in an industry that has been allowing this kind of negative trajectory for far too long. I mean, how else are things going to change in any meaningful way? So I agree that we are fundamentally in agreement about some of the most important aspects of this discussion. There are a lot of details to work out. We disagree about certain things, but it's good to get this forum. And John and Joe, you helped to make it happen. I'm glad it happened, and I hope we can do it again sometime.
Yeah,
Great.
no, this was excellent. And put Tinky on that subcommittee, Mike. Well, I'm going to hold you to
really.
that.
No, I got news here. I mean, Pat's going to text him or email him right after this if he can help in that area. But there's other areas he feels he can help. But listen, once he used the word radical, he had me at a hello. I mean,
Yes,
that was
sir.
it. I mean, that's it. So we're in agreement. And I've always, Tinky, my sarcasm, I've always respected your opinion. You're a high intellect person with great opinions. But listen, if I could be the nice guy and get the radical change you want, I would love to do that. It's just not possible. And I'm not going to go away. And John and Joe, I always appreciate the platform. I would ask you to try to get the leaders that we spoke about,
Right.
and really try to get those guys on. And when they decline to come on,
Right.
then what are they really telling us?
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
get Drew Fleming on with us. Let's get Jim Gagliano on with us. Let's get Lisa HISA on with. I'm in.
Yep.
Well, Lisa's on plenty, but yeah,
He's
those
done a
other
lot.
guys, open
Yeah.
invitation.
He's
All right,
always, yeah.
gonna wrap there. Mike Repole, Tony Kobitz. This was so much fun. This was everything I could have possibly asked for. Thank you guys so much for the time. And yeah, let's do it again somewhere down the line. Appreciate you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all. Thank you,
guys.
Tinky. Appreciate it.
You too, Mike. I appreciate your help.